YouTube? It's your boy Sensei Glove, the bald head black anime nerd, back with my review of One Piece manga chapter 979, Family Trouble. Been a minute since I done dropped a review. My OBS was tweaking, but we back, niggas. We are fucking back, and we are fucking live, and I fucking love this chapter because it was so much shit going on, and we got a lot of great character interactions between the Straw Hats that I personally have been missing, so it was fucking great. Chapter starts out, Orochi's basically in this state of fucking perfect bliss because he thinks that the world is perfect. He's gotten rid of his fears. He ain't got nobody, he ain't gotta like look over his shoulder every time he walking and all this other goofy ass shit. But little does he know, niggas is already done raided on this nigga and he's in the thick of it. So I actually love that, and I love that they tied that into the fact that Kanjuro hasn't shown up to tell him what the fuck is going on because lo and behold, Kanjuro's lost, which makes perfect fucking sense because how would that nigga know what the fuck Onigishima's like? Like, that nigga only been sending messages via bird to, I would even assume, the capital because he knows the capital. But he ain't never been to Onigashima. 1, 2, it's been 20 fucking years. What would Onigashima look like that it didn't look like back then, way back then? You see what I'm saying? So it's like a whole, it makes so much sense that he doesn't know. Also, Orochi's the only nigga that knows that he's the traitor. Like, Kaido knows that there is a traitor, but don't know who it is. And none of the Kaido pirates think that he's on their side. Like, he think, you gotta be an enemy, nigga. You not one of us. We don't know you. So that shit makes perfect fucking sense. And I think that's gonna lead to Momo's, like, that's buying Momo time to figure out what the fuck he wants to do and how he gonna get the fuck up out the gym. And I love it. Thank you so much, Oda, for that, because that makes perfect sense. But the funniest part of this chapter is actually the character interaction between the Straw Hats that we finally fucking get. We find out that Luffy has ran off because when he saw Kid run off, he said, you know what? I'm not gonna let this nigga beat me. Let me go ahead and get him. So then the Straw Hats immediately were like, this nigga's definitely finna get found out. He's gonna get discovered. So that shit was funny. And then right after that, it said, well, where's Zoro? And so Jinbei's like, well, Zoro said to himself when he saw Luffy leave, oh, Luffy's gonna get found out. Let me make sure he travels discreetly. And then they were like, he's definitely gonna get lost. And that shit is fucking hilarious because it's like, yes, bro, all of this shit is gonna happen. But what I do like inside of that is that they're showing that the supernovas themselves are like spacing out. So what we typically used to is the Straw Hats do that shit, right? And then they either fight, had a one-on-one fights and group up after Luffy's done with his big fight, or everybody like group up at the end. Like, not at the end, like during the battle on some walk up to Eni's lobby type shit. So what I'm thinking, because they seem to be focusing on the supernovas here, it will be so fucking fire if each supernova like dips off. So like next chapter we get Drake dipping off or some shit like that, and then they all link up at the battle on some supernova shit instead of the Straw Hat shit. That shit would be fucking fire, bro. Like, I cannot wait for that shit. But that character action was hilarious. And then even more hilarious was Brook when fucking Frankie asks, hey, you know, if you can ride on the back if you want to, clearly talking to Robin. But Brook jumps his ass right on the back like, oh, don't mind if I fucking do. Yo, that shit was fucking hilarious. And speaking of Robin's costume, like Robin's design with this like Beast Pirate shit, hella greater than the Nami design. Like, I know niggas think Nami better than Robin in terms of design, but oh no, I think Robin got that shit now. Because that cape is hella fucking fire, and I fuck with it. But even that conversation between Jinbei and Robin, just saying like, I'm so happy there's another intelligent motherfucker on the crew. Like, I hope I can be some use to the crew and shit like that. Like, just those dialogues and those moments being funny as hell. It's just great to fucking see. Like, you love to see that shit, and I'm so happy that Oda has given us that moment. And in that panel, we did see that somebody was actually watching them, which leads us to our next big point, which is the meetup between the Flying Six and Kaido. So the Flying Six finally appeared for the Kaido in that panel with them standing there and Kaido like sitting down over them and shit like that. Was fucking fire. I love their designs. I know you guys didn't hear my last review because OBS was tweaking on me, but I love Black Maria G. She the GOAT. I love her fucking design. She's giant. I can't wait to see how she fights and shit like that. Like, bro, I love them niggas' designs. But I love that we got to learn more about the dynamic of Kaido's crew, because I'm sure a lot of people have thought to themselves, but it hasn't really been spoken on, in which case this chapter has shed light on the fact that if this nigga just is a nigga that beats your ass and makes you part of his crew, like, what is that dynamic like? What is your work environment like? Like, what is the crew like? Because you just got a whole lot of niggas who all had their own ambitions now working for you. which I could understand leading to a whole bunch of turmoil. Up until this point, we had just known that the niggas who were captains was Apu, Hawkins, and Drake, who had their own crews. Those are the only niggas that we knew that had their own crews. Everybody else we just assumed was already part of Kaido's crew. But no, we find out that the Flying Six actually are all captains. They used to be captains of their own crew. If they all have dinosaur fruits, that is gonna be an extreme coincidence. Like, the coincidence of that shit is gonna be incredible to me. But we all know that they're gonna have some type of fucking zone fruit. I love the fact that these captains, bro, I don't wanna, it's one thing to just get beat by a Yonko and now you work for this Yonko, and it's another thing to get beat by a Yonko, now you work from this Yonko and gotta take orders from this Yonko's underling. Like, damn, G, that's some low ground shit. And you know, Hawkins is the numbers guy, so he don't really give a fuck as long as he comes out on top or he lives and doesn't die. Whereas, you know, other motherfuckers probably feel away, which we learn, yeah, nigga, I'm coming, I want that top spot. I'm not trying to be an underling to an underling. Like, you know what I mean? Like, nah, hell no, bro. That makes absolutely no sense. So King is the one who actually called them, not Kaido. But obviously they wouldn't listen to King because I don't fuck with you, nigga. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I want your spot, basically. Who's who and Satsuki, kind of the most smoke wanting this niggas of the Flying Six, it appears to be. King spoke to them by name, like, don't y'all want to be commanders? Like, you know what I mean? So the proposition is go find Kaido's son, who we find out the name is Yamato. I personally think the person who was spying on Jinbei name is Yamato. But my initial theory was that Yamato or Kaido's son would run into Momo. They would have like this character arc where they meet up, and, you know, they grow together, and it would kind of be like the linchpin that ties together the Kozuki and Kaido to kind of like get that connection kind of solid and move that story in that direction. But if not, I'm cool with that as well, because Momo gonna have his moment regardless. But yeah, so he said, go find my son because I want him to be at the opening ceremony or however when I give my speech. If you do that, I'll grant all of you niggas the right to take on a commander. And you see Jack and King standing there like, is that cool? And they like, yep. I'm like, oh shit, this is what we need. We need niggas that's with the smoke, bro. I love it. I love it. Obviously, we know Drake got some ulterior motive, so he really don't give a fuck. We can tell from last chapter he didn't give a fuck. But them niggas like, oh shit, Sasuke and who's who? They like, oh yeah, I want smoke. And King wants smoke. And Jack wants smoke. I'm sure Queen ain't gonna mind because he that nigga too, but wants smoke. And while I don't think that the story is gonna go in that direction fully, I think it's great that they established there is some inner turmoil between the Beast Pirates, which, based on how Kaido moves, it just has to be. It has to be some type of inner turmoil. I guess my only question there is like, why is Apu not on the Toby Ropo? Is it because he doesn't have a fucking zone devil fruit? Like, is that it? Do you have to have a zone devil fruit and be a captain and be strong? You know what I mean? Like, assuming that the person watching Jinbei and Robin and all of them is Yamato, if the Flying Six run into them while looking, or some of the Flying Six, because I imagine they're gonna split up in different places to look and not just all go together in one place. I can see the conflict starting there. But even before then, the chapter ends with Luffy running into a couple of Kaido's men, some Beast Pirates that are partying and wasting a whole lot of food. He has a flashback to Otama with her basically starving and not having food back at you know, the leftovers town. Gets mad, and I'm assuming that the conflict is going to start here. The funny thing about this though is that the plan was always for Luffy and Kid to just start a ruckus and we do what we're supposed to do. But in One Piece, we know that, like, we've been trained to know that whatever the plan is supposed to be, it's not gonna go that way, because Luffy gonna do some other shit, or some shit that we don't expect to happen is going to happen. So considering that the plan is for him to start shit, and it's looking like he's about to start shit, it's crazy, because now our expectation is that he does not start shit because the plan is for him to start shit. So I really don't know how this is gonna go. Like, at the end of the day, if he starts shit, and, like, you know, he gets it cracking. That was what the plan was supposed to be. But it just is mind fucking, because it's like, is Luffy following the plan? You know what I mean? Like, is the plan actually gonna go through? Like, when shit literally lines up how it's supposed to line up, you really start to tweak, like, is it really gonna go how it's supposed to go? So yeah, that was really interesting. All in all, I really fucking loved this chapter. It was great. I give it an 8.5, 9 out of 10. It was very layered. We got to see great character interactions between the Straw Hats with Jinbei, as well as just them together doing typical Straw Hat shit that we know and love. As well as getting an update on Momo, seeing what the fuck he's doing, an explanation for why Kanjuro isn't there, Orochi being a snake, and the Flying Six and their motives, like with the inner turmoil between the Beast Pirates. So that shit was fucking excellent. Also, we find out that Kaido wants to give a speech, like I said, in the ceremony about something. I personally think that since he wants his son to be there, the speech is probably gonna be about his son. I can very well see him saying, you know what, it's time for me to step down as captain of the Beast Pirates. I want my son Yamato to step up. It's all on you. I can see Yamato not wanting it, this, that, and the third. Like, I can very, very well see that going in that direction. We also found out that Big Mom's pirates haven't shown up yet, but they are on their way. So this really leaves it up in the air. Like, are the rest of the Big Mom pirates coming? So are we getting Katakuri in this arc? Like, are we getting like Oven and all of them? Like, are we gonna see every single, like, is Pudding pulling up? Are we gonna get another marriage? Like, how is this shit about to go? Because apparently the whole Big Mom ship is supposed to be pulling up. They can't just be talking about the ship that Big Mom pulled up on. They can't be talking about that. They have to be talking about the rest of her crew, which would turn this shit into something completely different that I don't even want to fucking think about in terms of fights and power scaling, bro. Nevertheless, man, I love this fucking chapter, bro. It was great. Obviously, we know we got a break next week because Oda's slowing down the production due to coronavirus. So we'll probably do like 1 or 2 chapters a month, like chapter break, which I'm all for because I don't want Oda to get sick, bro. I fuck with Oda. Oda, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? I love One Piece. It's the greatest anime of all time. So, bro, take as much time as you got to, bro. I read monthly manga, so you know what I mean? Like, I'm okay with that, Oda. Like, take your time, flesh the story out, draw as well as you need to. Just do what you gotta do, bro. Like, comment, subscribe, fuck with the kids, Sensei Lay Glove. Follow me on Twitter at Sensei Lay Glove. Follow me on Instagram at Sensei Lay Glove. Let me know what you thought of the chapter down in the comments below. Let me know what you thought of my review down in the comments below. If you had any other content that you'd like me to do, please feel free to let me know. My OBS is working now, so I'm back at it, niggas. So we lit, bro. Hit my line. Let me know, man. Other than that, Sensei Lay Glove, out.